Hey, Wember World Entertainment, and it looks like more rumours of the impending cancellation of Doctor Who seems to be building more steam and momentum, especially now that we are hearing that Russell T Davies is on his way out. Now, we know he was leaving because he's going to do this new show for Channel 4 in the UK, but we're hearing now that this may not actually be his decision to leave. In fact, it seems like Disney are the ones that want him out, but they also want Ncuti Gatwa replaced. So there seems to be a lot going on. Now, this article says this rumour comes from Mr. H Reviews. He's actually read articles and was sent some information about it. So they're kind of going on what he said, but he's also going off. Part of it is what he was told, but the majority of it was an article he read as well. But we'll have a look at this anyway, because it's interesting. And again, we know that season 3 for Disney has not been renewed. Apparently, that was meant to have happened a year ago. Then it was meant to happen up to the Christmas special, and now it's been put off again until season 2 comes out. And they're going to make up their minds, which, by all accounts, if that's the case, it's probably not happening, that they're going to renew it. But we're kind of hearing that without Disney's backing, that the BBC have pretty much admitted that they can't fund another season of Doctor Who. But let's dive into this anyway. So, a new rumour from YouTuber Mr. H Reviews claims that Disney has issued a demand to the BBC. If Doctor Who is to continue receiving Disney's financial backing, both showrunner Russell T Davies and current Doctor Ncuti Gatwa must be replaced. This information allegedly comes from an inside source with a strong track record of accurate leaks. Now again, the Russell T Davies leaving isn't from this insider source. That actually comes from Russell T Davies himself, basically. The part of Disney want them removed, that comes from the source. So anyway, this continues saying, this revelation aligns with recent comments from Davies himself, who admitted on David Tennant's podcast that discussions are already underway about who will take over the showrunner role when he steps down. Speaking on David Tennant Does a Podcast With, Davies reflected on the process of selecting a new showrunner, referencing how Steve Moffat replaced him in 2010 without much fanfare. And he was saying this, but I will need to slow down at some point. That'll come. Last time it was Stephen Moffat who replaced me. That wasn't even a day's work. Like, right off you go, there's thinking about that. There's conversations about that. But it's hard. It's a tricky one. This guy, when he talks gobbledygook, doesn't he? Like, he's literally trying to say, when last time I stepped down, it wasn't easy, but Stephen Moffat replaced me. And instead, he makes it sound like this weird, complicated, that wasn't even a day's work, right? Let it go, let it off, and there's things to think about that way, and conversations about that way. And you're like, what? What are you saying? So, his remarks suggest that a succession plan is already being considered for the role of Doctor Who showrunner, though he did not specify when a change might occur. So it continues anyway, saying, in a bombshell claim, Mr. H Reviews stated that Gatwa has already filmed his regeneration scene. Before I continue, we've heard that a while ago, and it wasn't from Mr. H, but that story came out a good while ago, that apparently he had filmed a regeneration scene. So that says, signaling the end of his tenure as the Doctor. If true, this would indicate that the BBC is preparing for an upcoming transition, though it remains unclear whether Disney's rumoured demands played a role in this decision. Now, again, just before I continue, if you remember when they were talking about the idea that Ncuti Gatwa had already filmed his regeneration, the reason we know it didn't come from Mr. H stuff is, do you remember what the actual thing was? That David Tennant apparently was coming back again to replace him, which it doesn't make sense, but whatever. And of course, Ncuti Gatwa has also left. He went back after filming the 2 seasons. He went back to doing stage, He made it clear. He's like, oh, I've always wanted to perform on stage and I've gone back to it. And now he's also buggering off to America to try and chase the movie dream over there. So by all accounts, he probably is gone. So this is also saying, this also fits in with reports from sources close to Gatwa who have noted the actor wants to relocate to Hollywood. In another eyebrow-raising move, fans have noticed that Ncuti Gatwa has removed 15th Doctor from his social media bio. While this could mean nothing, it does add weight to the claims that his tenure is coming to an abrupt end. Typically, actors playing the Doctor proudly display their title. Gatwa quietly removed the label could signal that he's already moving on. One of the more surprising claims from Mr. H is that Disney has a top candidate in mind for the next Doctor, Michael Sheen. Sheen has been offered the role before and turned it down. But with Disney involved, there's speculation that a bigger paycheck could lure him in. However, Sheen isn't known for chasing money, making it uncertain whether he'd actually accept the offer. While a major shake-up seems inevitable, the bigger question remains, will Doctor Who continue at all? Mr. H suggests that outright cancellation is a real possibility. Disney has reportedly delayed renewal discussions multiple times, first aiming to make a decision by summer 2024, then after the Christmas special, which now isn't happening, and now waiting to see how season 2 performs. If ratings remain dismal, the series could be axed entirely. Adding fuel to the speculation, Mr. H also reports that Doctor Who currently has no Christmas special planned for 2025. Historically, the Christmas special is filmed well in advance, making its absence particularly unusual, which, again, Mr. H never broke that news. That news was known quite a while ago when the last season aired. Given the show's tumultuous state, this could indicate larger behind-the-scenes issues. Now, it kind of goes on a little bit here and waffles on a little bit. The thing about this as well is Russell T Davies, and this is the irony, he also happened to say on that podcast that the reason he actually came back to Doctor Who was to protect it, and get this, to protect it from Disney's interference. So the guy who's come back and actually managed to destroy Doctor Who even more than Chibnall did, it says he came back to protect it from Disney, and yet he's already going off to do a new show. Disney could renew this and replace him, and how exactly did he protect it from Disney? Not to mention that all the bullshit he comes up with and does, Disney would back. They would be the people who would go, we love this idea. What, a drag queen villain? Absolutely. What, an alien with pronouns? Absolutely. A trans person that's lecturing the Doctor on being male? Absolute. Of course Disney would be all up for that. And this donkey is trying to say, oh, I came back to protect it because of Disney. Get the hell out of here. You came back for the paycheck and so you could shove your crap, your modern day gayness shit down everybody's throats. That's why you came back. And again, don't forget, this is the guy who took something that he had no influence over making. He wasn't around when this show aired 60 years ago. And he took it upon himself to change Davos, to say, oh, it was I always found it problematic that he was in a wheelchair. He was never in a wheelchair. It was a life support machine. But what did he do? He just made him a normal dude. And that was it. You never really saw him again. He was in a Christmas special and it was like half the people didn't even know that was meant to be Davos. So the fact that they're trying to remove him, I can fully believe. I can see them looking at the ratings, knowing that season 2, what they call season 2, will actually be season 16, 15, 16, I think it's 15, will bomb just as much. No Christmas special, that should tell you everything you need to know as well, especially after the last one was a disaster. And that Ncuti Gatwa seemingly is already on his way out, that he's like, yeah, I'm going to Hollywood, I'm going to be a megastar. Yeah, good luck with that. By the way, they do have someone in mind for a showrunner. I just can't remember who the name was. They don't have it here either, I don't think. Mr. H, if you go to Mr. H's video about it, that one, he can tell you. He has two videos. One, it's titled The Ego on this guy or something, which was when that was the video where Russell T Davies is talking about he came back to Doctor Who to protect it from Disney. I think it's the other one about it possibly getting cancelled that he mentions the name Disney have put out to be new showrunner. And of course, if Disney get absolute full control of this thing as well, you're gonna end up Americanizing it, and that's not going to be good for it either, because it's a British show and it should stay British, and once they start getting their claws into it, they're going to fundamentally change it. But God only knows at this stage. Let's face it, at this stage it needs to be cancelled. It needs to be put to rest for at least 10 years. Let interest grow back, let all this crap with it blow over, and come back fresh with it. That's the only way to do it. And you'd probably have to really try and do something to remove the Timeless Children. Get that removed from canon. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens, but the writing seems to be on the wall for this. So with that, I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.